Something that Scream 7 needs is a secondary antagonist. That is something that I feel like was missing in Scream 5 and Scream 6, so I think Scream 7 should return to that. But let's get into it.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney.
He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. Something that I want to see in Scream 7 is a fun secondary antagonist. I do feel like this is something that we had in Screams 1 through 4, and then in 5 and 6 it just kind of went away. So what I mean by a secondary antagonist is someone who is not the Ghostfaces, someone other than the main villains who isn't a real threat but just kind of causes some tension and obstacles for the protagonist. For example, in the first movie, Scream 1996, I think that was Gale Weathers. She kind of caused some issues for Sydney. They had tension, they got into arguments, it actually came to physical blows, but obviously Gale did not end up being an actual threat. And then in Scream 2, I think that was Cotton Weary as the secondary antagonist. There was some tension between him and Sydney, pretty much from that first scene when they come face to face on campus. And then of course they have that pretty intense scene in the school library. So he sort of caused some tension and obstacles for Sydney, but didn't end up being an actual threat. And then in Scream 3, I feel like the secondary antagonist was John Milton. He was kind of more of a secondary antagonist for Gale and Jennifer Jolie, not necessarily Sydney. I don't think him and Sydney even had a scene together, but he definitely was just another character other than the Ghostface that caused some tension and some issues. And then in Scream 4, it was Rebecca Walters. Rebecca in Scream 4 kind of gave me Gale vibes from the first movie. She was kind of sassy, kind of cold-hearted a little bit. There was definitely tension between her and Sydney, and she ended up not being Ghostface. And then when it comes to Scream 5 and 6, I really don't feel like there was a character like that. In Scream 5, it could have been Vince. And I suppose it kind of was for a little bit. Like, he did cause some tension between like Chad and Liv. There's that deleted scene with him and Dewey kind of getting into a fight in the bar. So I suppose you could say Vince was kind of a secondary antagonist for Scream 5, but I just think he was taken out way too soon. I always say this on the channel, like, they really wasted Vince's potential. He could have been a great character. He could have been a great red herring throughout the entire movie, or actually ended up being a great Ghostface. But I definitely think he should have stuck around a lot longer and been more of that secondary antagonist. So Scream 5 really didn't have one. And then in Scream 6, there really wasn't one at all. There was no other character who really caused tension or obstacles for the core four or anyone in the movie. And it's such a shame because I do feel like that adds another layer to things. So in Scream 7, I definitely want to see them return to that a little bit. And I think with Kevin Williamson as the director, who probably is having some say in the script, like I'm sure he is doing some writing on this movie. Even if he's not officially credited with it, I feel like this is his story that he created initially. And with him being the director, like, I definitely think he's going to have a major say in the story. So I feel pretty confident that we might end up going back to basics a little bit and hopefully getting a secondary antagonist. Now, who could that be? Maybe it's someone in Sydney's town. You know, there are rumors that some of her neighbors and people who live in her town aren't going to be too happy with her, and they won't be happy with her living there because they think that, you know, she causes issues. So it could be one of Sydney's neighbors being a secondary antagonist. Maybe it's someone kind of in GALE's world. You know, I'm sure GALE kind of has a lot of enemies out there from all the stuff that she's written in the past, or maybe some news stories that she's covered that we really don't know about. Maybe GALE kind of has an enemy out there. Maybe Mark Kincaid will have some enemies. If he's in the story, you know, I hope he is. We still don't have a confirmation on that yet, but he's Sydney's husband. Maybe he's made some enemies over the years with people that he's like arrested, or family members of people that he's arrested. Maybe someone like that could be a secondary antagonist for him and for Sydney. Leave a comment down below and let me know who you think would make a good secondary antagonist. Another thing that I hope that we kind of get back in Scream 7 is mystery. I feel like mystery has been severely lacking in these newer movies. I think the first 4 Screams did it really well. Someone in my comment section recently said Scream 3 was pretty mysterious with like the photos of Maureen being left behind. So I think we need something like that. I guess Scream 6 kind of had that with like the masks being left behind and the shrine. There was a little mystery there, like who made the shrine, who's leaving these masks behind. But I just think it's nowhere near the earlier Scream movies, and I think Scream 5 really lacked mystery. So those are just a couple of things that I hope we can get back to in Scream 7. A secondary antagonist, more mystery in the story, some better red herrings possibly. But yeah, that's it for today. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think could be a good secondary antagonist? Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I am trying to get to 10K subscribers by the end of this year, and I am almost there. I'm less than 500 away from 10K. So please, if you're new here, subscribe or share my channel with a friend who is a Scream fan or a horror fan. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on future posts, future Scream theories, future Scream 7 updates. I also do have some merch for sale if you're interested. The link is down below in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.